I out. I is the personal, is I.
Okay.
Let's take it out. What left over? You fall.
Fall. Right.
How many times you fall? And what you did every time you fall?
You get up.
You get up. When you take your personal out, when you take it personally, yeah, when you talk about fail, I fail. So take the I out, you fall.
Right.
You fall, you get up.
Except, I'll throw a joke in here. I couldn't resist it. I think of that commercial Life Alert where the little lady falls. I fall and I can't get up. I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, but see how it's simple? I mean, since we're born, we fall all the time.
Right.
And every time we get up.
Right.
And now about the risk that you're talking about, yeah, that is a greater risk, yeah, when you don't take the risk. Let's put some scenario that you reach 90 years old,
Yeah.
right? Now you sit on a rocking chair and you reflect back on your life. The risk of the regret is heavier than every other risk that you can get.
I agree.
Yeah, and if you don't want to have that feeling, yeah, start to do. And now when you do again, when you do, you're gonna get results. It's a work or doesn't work. Work or doesn't work. There is no any other way to look at that. Whatever it is that you do. Now, if you can find some people that will support you and go along with you, yeah, here you go. Now you don't carry that by yourself. Now you have a team, now you have a group. Yeah? Along the way, that's going to make you a leader. That's what leaders do. Leader take the initiative. Leader take the action. Leader be the first. The first to do something. Yeah, even if they not succeed, they get something. And now they keep doing that. And I will go to the place when I said it, I think, in this show also, that nobody in the world make the right decision. What leaders do, they make their decision right. When they decide to do something, they go for it. Yeah, I decide to do it, and I'll go for it. I want to see how does that work.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how does that come out. I want to see what the result I will get from that. Which is mean, now you step ahead of everybody else. Everybody gonna like you for that. Everybody gonna follow you because you did it. You was the first one. Now they don't look at the result. They will look at the action that you take. For them, you're going to be the hero. You're going to be the guy that whatever you say, we follow. So they go with the flow. You create the flow.
So, as we established that one of the things that impedes people from embracing change is fear. And we've talked about this on this show a few times as well. I mean, there's various different acronyms for fear. I use those two that I normally use more so than others. Is false evidence appearing real, or fantasy experience is real. And and fear, I believe, does two things. It encourages people to do the wrong thing most of the time. But worse yet, it impedes people from doing the right thing most of the time, as we're talking about here. So if you had a thought, an idea of doing something, but for whatever reason you stop from it because of various different multiple reasons that it's causing some kind of fear for you from making that decision, deciding, like you said, to not making a right decision, but deciding to making it right. What's one thing, Chaim, that you would suggest people to overcome that fear? Because for some people, that's a very visceral feeling, the emotions. It may be very overwhelming to the point that it's the saying that says, a person is paralyzed by fear, where they can't move, right? And that's what we're talking about here: moving and not moving, just staying in that place where it's comfort and it's safe. So, what would you suggest, and what would you recommend for people when they're experiencing that? Because we all have done it, myself as well. I mean, this year I committed myself to getting out of my comfort zone for whatever time I run into something where normally I would say no, to step back and say, okay, why am I saying no? Where is this coming from? Is it coming from a place of fear? To be able to do that. So what would you say for somebody that, in any aspect of their lives, whatever it may be in their work environment, whether it be within a family, their relationships, friendships, whatever it may be, when they are overcome with that fear, what would you suggest they do?
First, I want to give you another acronym to fear.
Yes, I know you have another one that you like as well. Go ahead.
Face everything and rise.
Face everything and rise.
Yes. Now, fear is a feeling.
Yes.
What you fear the feeling that you will have in case you take the action toward something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now, when you have fear, you're paralyzed. From fear, you don't do the wrong thing. You just don't do nothing. You don't have faith. You have fear. So you just don't do anything. You wait for someone else to do it, or you don't. Most of the time you don't. You just have no action. You just let it go. The key point, if you don't face it, it's a blockage in your mind that will hold you again and again, and this is registered. Yeah, and you will be frustrated. Why many things in your life not going anywhere? Because when you fear once and you fear twice, you become fearful from everything. And don't forget, if that's come from some place, that it starts in a childhood. Yeah, when you reach between the age of 5 and the teen, this is the time that we want to do everything. And the grown-up around us stopping us from doing that. Don't do this, don't go there, all the stop signs along the way that keeping us from get experience. And that's become a habit in you as a grown-up. So you all the time go back to safety. What familiar. When you have something to go forward, yeah, and you have no experience, and you don't know how is that work, and you don't know what the result going to be, that's when the fear kicks in. You don't want to feel that feeling that when it's not going to work, you're going to be bullied, everybody going to laugh at you, you're going to be the joke of the party. Yeah, you don't want to have that feeling. So that's fear. That's keep you from doing everything, from doing anything. Yeah, that's hold you back. And now to step out from that, you just go ahead and do it. When you learn to ride a bike, how many times you fall? But you want to learn to ride a bike. When you learn to drive a car, yeah, I can assure you, in the beginning you hold the steering in two hands. Yeah, you were so anxious, you don't know what to do first. Yeah, but somebody was helping you. That's in everything in life. Yeah, it's the same way. If you find somebody that's going to come and support you on what you want to do, that will take the part of the fear away. The fear is still going to be there. Yeah, but you have somebody with you, somebody that holds the flashlight, somebody that will support you, somebody that, if in case you fall, he's going to hold you, going to hold your back. So that's bring you some comfort. Yeah? And this is the way, if you're so fearful, this is the way to get ahead. If you can do it on your own, that's great.
The part about as far as fear that like you're saying that like fear just stops you from doing anything. That's like paralyzing fear doesn't go anywhere. But I strongly believe as well, and throughout history of humanity, we could show that many examples, even just recently within the past few weeks, past week or so, past few days. I believe that fear does two things. It does encourage people to do the wrong thing. And I'm going to throw this in there because I'm a big Star Wars fan. Master Yoda always says, the passage to the dark side is that fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hatred. Hatred leads to suffering. And I feel that, throughout history of humanity, where one group is not aware of the other group or what their intentions are, it's unknown. So they will do something where they will try to annihilate the other group because they just don't know what the intentions are of the other group. So because of the fear that they have to protect themselves and keep safe of their group and everything else, they'll go out there and annihilate another group. Or you could bring it something, unfortunately, more recent or even closer to home about what happened with the pipe bombs that were sent out. Where is that coming from? Or what happened, unfortunately, with the shooting in the synagogues? There was 11, parishioners. So that's where I'm saying. I mean, it doesn't really tie into what you're talking about now because you're talking about change and so on. But I'm also want to make sure that people realize that fear sometimes just doesn't stop you from doing something. It encourages you to do something because of that fear. And that may be something that encourages them to do something wrong because of that fear. But the other part, as I mentioned, and what we're talking about right now as well, is that it impedes you for making a move or doing something that'll probably be better for yourself or for everybody around you as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I strongly believe in that, and we've had many instances and examples where fear does lead making people do the wrong things, so I just wanted to mention that for you. Now, let me ask you this. I mean, I always find it interesting, various different topics that you bring to our show. Why do you feel that, making a change is such an important issue for people, for our viewers to talk about and to be aware of, and perhaps look at maybe a little bit differently after they watch this show? Why do you feel today was a good time? What was your motivating reason to talk about this particular topic?
I came up with with a way to go around that.
To go around what?
Around the change, which is, I'm saying, don't change. Don't change, which is mean you're not broke, you're not outdated, you're not unuseful or all kind of what's come with that. Don't change, because you came to this point in life and you did something in your life. Yeah, and let's change the name of that, which is mean let's add something new to your life.
Okay.
When you add anything new to your life, it's a learning process. So now inside of you that you learn something new, you give break to yourself. I'm learning something new, so I need to give the time to myself to learn, to see how is that going to work for me. Yeah. When you state it out for the surrounding around you, the people that know you, yeah, they're also going to give you some slack. They're going to give you time. They're going to say, leave him alone now. He's learning something new. Yeah, we're going to wait until we're going to be around the corner. Yeah, we're not going to let you get away from that. We're going to tell you after that. But right now you're learning, we leave you alone. Here is the key. What you're going to take, what you're going to add to your life. It's